You come from that?
Here with me is good.
It's okay. I bring my own African food.
Yeah.
Eat together.
That's interesting. We have another question that it's going on, and how could things get better? Or like, if you see this thing that's happening,
It's racist,
yeah.
but not to that level.
Yeah.
German will not let the racists get to that level. In America, the racist is too much. In Germany,
He's like a journalist. Thanks for having us. Daily things. So, the situation that this is a situation they have to live and accept. And it cannot be changed.
Es liegt so viel an uns. Wir müssen an uns selbst arbeiten. Wenn wir das getan haben, dann können wir das draußen verhandeln. Und wenn wir müssen erstmal von innen stark sein. We must be strong inside, within ourselves. We have come, we have come. Yes. The time to go is a question. And it's not even in the nearest future scene. Yeah, because we might plan and nature plan against it. It is not in our making. Coming here, we knew when we were coming, but going, we don't know when we are going. We are making kids here. The generation is multiplying. The question is, do we allow these children to still suffer what we are suffering? Do we allow these children to still go through these difficulties we are going through? We do not have no knowledge. We don't even the certificate we brought is nothing compared to theirs. Yeah. But it's so painful. When I think about those things, honestly, sometimes I don't sleep. I start thinking about how can we change the situation in which we find ourselves. Most of us worked in Nigeria in big offices, in Kenya, in Cameroon, in different countries where we come from. Most of us, we have ate in the broken plates. We have ate with the golden spoon. But we come here, we reduce ourselves to nothing, or we allowed ourselves to be reduced to nothing. But it is not yet over until nature says it's over. That is why we have to fight. And we have to regain our level that we should be, because nobody knows tomorrow. Nobody knows when it's going to be said, okay, now we're going home. Most of the people, we see what is happening in America. It is not that they don't want to go home, but the question is, where is the home? Where do they run to? Which of the African land will they go to? And they will have peace. That is the question. All of us knows it. If you get home, if you are going home like me, if I'm traveling back to Nigeria, I'm always filled with a lot of joy. I will be packing. Honestly, like 1 month, 2 months, I used to prepare myself for a journey that would take me like 14 days. I make sure I buy a lot of things. I make sure I really prepare. I will pack, I will repack, I will pack, I will repack. Shopping, giving out a lot of money. But when you get down to the country, honestly, you just need 24 hours. You want to go back. But here we are also not accepted. So what do we do? That is why we should please walk today so that tomorrow we will not walk. We should make a way for these little ones. We should speak to ourselves. If any of your brother, sister offend you in any way, talk to the person in a language that that person will understand. And the person will see to it and excuse himself or herself. And we should teach our children that there is a place we came from. We have a home.
It's living in Brandenburg, how we coexist in Brandenburg, in our land itself. Brandenburg is actually a big bonus land. And there are some people who have left actually Germany in its completeness, and some people have just left Brandenburg to Köln, to South Germany, to different places. So the question is, how comfortable, how happy, how content are you in land Brandenburg? Do you feel like you have to move? Do you feel like you're happy here? Because do you have thoughts of leaving? Do you want to stay here with your children? So this is the kind of talk we want to talk about, which is actually intertwined with what she talked about.
About integration and integration, but we are the ones that we are not integrating. Most of the time, even if there is a big party and we are being invited, maybe we are being invited individuals, to come to that party. But for example, if I come in, instead of sitting down with the other people, this is my example, I just look, where is the African, so I go to that African where she's sitting. Another one will come, she will just look for the place where African is sitting, That is disturbing me sometimes. I've experienced this thing, and I want you as Africans, please too, we want, leave it, stop it, Sorry to say it. It's my experience. That integration has to start from we. Start to integrate with your neighbor. Start to integrate with, if she doesn't want it, not all of them that they will say that we don't want to integrate with you. There will be one or two that they will integrate. At least taking things together, going together, inviting them maybe like to African food at home and like this. I normally do a lot of that thing. And secondly, I will never go out of Potsdam. I love Potsdam. I'm already integrated since.
Let's give
I always say I love Potsdam. I'll never go out. We have everything in Potsdam. Yeah? If we talk about also we don't face a lot of some bad experience too much, but if there are bad experience also, I know that we report. I think they hear us. Yeah? They hear us, and at least they do take measure at least. For our children too, I see our children too, they are facing some problems too, but the more that we are talking with them about the problem, that they don't have to bring them down when they come at home. We know my children, I always talk to them. If you face this thing, please don't bring you down. Please try to defend yourself, but not with conflict. All the time I always tell them. And please don't take it too much inside you that it can destroy you. Please know how you can talk to me or to your teacher or to somebody who can help you.
Yeah, ethics, like getting a job, finding a job, going to the offices that help us find work issues. How are you being treated there? How are they helping you out? What's your experience? Are you able to move up, like our sister said? Are you being accepted with your qualities? Do we have to settle with the little that we have? And are we also trying to better ourselves with getting different qualifications? Because we also have to find ourselves doing qualification after qualification after qualification, which is mandatory, But at the same time, if you don't do qualifications, you cannot expect to climb up the ladder. But if you're doing your qualifications and you're not being allowed to climb the ladder, then there's something wrong. So we have to kind of like speak out, and if we don't speak out, we cannot help each other, So these are the kind of things we're trying to talk about. You wanted to say something?
Sometimes we feel we are being discriminated and so on, but when you look deeper into what we face,
we are more comfortable than where we claim home we are coming from. And here we have leaders who are serving us, not who are masters of us. So now coming to us being Africans and having problems within ourselves here is because I don't know where the evil came from. A lot of us naturally are haters to ourselves. We don't push each other. We don't bring each other the knowledge that we need to empower ourselves to achieve what we should. And if we can be able to open our eyes and go out of this and hold our hands stronger and say we need to show our children a life that they can be better on, we will be able to overcome what we are saying, depression or kind of discriminations and so on. It won't change because of the skin color, as I always say it, but we can be power more than through what we offer, through the way we present ourselves, which the case some of where I am coming from, I wouldn't have such opportunities even. Because in my place, I know you, if you don't have that connection, that Godfather, you will not get to where you want to. But it's not the case here. So all we need to do is us empower ourselves, stand for one another. I saw a video today when a white person was telling the blacks why they are failing. I cried because the white person said we are just scattered. We scatter, we don't entangle ourselves, we don't hold ourselves. We have a lot of blacks who are very intelligent, who are well-to-do, who have the best jobs here, who can tell our children, you are able to achieve this. You can go to that office. You can work in that office. But then, we are separated and we don't tell each other the truth.
And that intelligent person, we hate that intelligent
person. And that
person.
is the point. We don't hold, and some of the intelligent people now feel like, I will be wasting my time even going to tell them what to do. Why? We have to keep on. Sometimes I say, oh, if I now say on my own, I can say there is nothing I cannot achieve here in this chamber, in this podcast. I don't see anything. With my skin color, with I don't see any barrier. But if I go back to my land, I have a lot of barriers because I don't have godfathers. I don't have who to connect me to here and there. So when we start thinking of that, we know that we are in a position to make some changes. We are in a position to make our children achieve the best here. So we need to empower ourselves. We need to avoid self-hate. We need to get people who are already in some better positions, who are blacks, bring them to tell these younger ones that we are seen as second class, but we can offer what first class offer. We are seen as people who are dumb, but we have the mind and the ability to give them what they don't even know that we have. So we just need to work on ourselves.
Now, like what you mentioned, like when we go to parties and how we try to get ourselves together. But in the social network, we don't come together. It would be good if we try now to educate our children, not just at home, to try to gather them now, bring them together as parents, to bring our children together now. Because when we do that now, they will know they have a stand, a place where they can stay together, like you said. Because we are not together, we don't get information. And because we don't get information, we don't get the outcome of an information, because an information is power. Information is power. Information is almost everything. So when you are informed, then you will be where you're supposed to be. Just like back home, you can't even go to any office to look for a job. You know, because you won't even know if there is any job there. Because before the job comes out, it's already shared. You know, so this is the issue. So if we can now start to bring our children together, we can make it here. Because very soon, those of us that maybe go home, but we have our children who are still here. And that is what I want to say. So please, if it's possible, if it's workable, let's start it before we go home.
I have a question.
Yes.
How can we start?
Good.
So with the youth or the children now?
Yeah, with the youths, those of them that there are some of our children now that are even working, and they are feeling some of these problems we are facing. Now, I could say, okay, I don't speak good Dutch. I am not well builded. I don't have good education. I don't have this. But these children now, they have these information. They have all these things. But they are still facing the same problem we face. So the better we start now to bring our children together, that they will know they have to work together. They have to work together now, so that they will be able to face tomorrow. Thank you.
My conclusion to this, I thank you all for this idea. It's a very good idea. Yeah, when we talk of the children, we the adults, we have to show a good example. Not all of us can open that door. Not all of us know where to go. There are some people here, God bless us with, that can open that door, that can access that office. Why can't all of us work together, unity as one? Nobody is perfect. If we should help one another, when you have a problem, you can run to that your brother or your sister and say, please, this is the problem I'm facing. I don't know where to go. It can take you there. It can take you there, it can help you. We are saying of a color, not only color alone. Even the minority, some also have the same color with them. They still treat them the same. And a German, what I understand, to my understanding, they never tell you, say, if you are wrong, they may, or you need something, you went to that office, and they know that's something you needed, you have to go to the next office. They will not tell you. They want you to discover it yourself. And there's somebody there who knows this thing. As we are here now, if we should come with our problem, and we pour it out, this is the problem I'm facing in my house. A sister now get up, okay, I can help you. Tomorrow, let us go there. We may find solution. Yeah, because we also have this thing from where we are coming from. If my sister were to marry to East now, I will ask him, my sister, say, why are you going to East? Can't you find anybody here? It's the same thing. Okay, we are here now, we now learn about it. We now know it's a racist. Please, let us start from us. Start from the father and the mother. It's what you teach your children too. That is what they project outside. Please. My sister, I thank you for everything, for the whole effort you have been doing. You are making speech just now, you are crying. But there are people there judging. They don't know what people are passing through. That's why you see me sometimes I project some project we do long time ago. For people to understand, say that people fighting for you here, even we fight for African people. If we say these people, they are treating us bad, are they the people that tell our leader to be stealing the money? No! It's time for us to wake up. Everybody have a part to play on this. Not fighting racists with racists. Let them know. It's about understanding and the way you present yourself in the society. They know all of us. Okay, if we talk of about living together, why they keep us in one side? If you ask them, they want you, all of you, to live in one place so that you cannot feel stranger. But later, we use it against them and we use it against ourselves. We turn that place to a ghetto. That is my whole point.
We, the parents, have a very, very big role to play. And if our children are coming up, seeing us lazing around, seeing us not showing that we have to work, we have to learn something, the children will follow our footsteps. The children will know, if you keep preaching in the house that, hey, you cannot have a good job, these people are lazy, these people cannot give you a chance to do that, they cannot allow you. Your children are getting that. It's sticking into their head. And they are born here, they know everything, they because of that. You have to tell them that. I call my son Burgermaster because I know in this program, Potsdam 2035, you people will be listening to a speech from him, because I want to let them know that there is no way they can reach. Yes. There is no office here. We are free here. Make the children understand that there is no limitation with the skin color. Let's forget. Make them understand that with what they are acquiring from schools, they have the same certificates here. It's not like our own that they are trying to evaluate whether they are right. So I don't feel sometimes bad when these people try to evaluate our results, because when you go genuinely, some of the results really are bought.
Yes.
In Africa, everything is possible. Yes. So, but those who are born here, they go to the same schools here. Why do we parents make them feel that they cannot get good jobs? I have nobody, all my kids, you are this, you are that. Unless you choose in future not to be, but I'm encouraging you that you can be this position, that you can achieve this, and you can be in
people are meant to every time because of my skin, because of my sex. What do you expect? You bring yourself low already. So why I hate this language people always use, and then people from outside, because of my skin color, because of my black. Are you not somebody? But this is how God made you to be. So why are you differentiating? Yeah, I cannot get out from my tongue. You know? So we should also first of all be positive, know that we want something. As I am. I know that I'm more than what is his name, Trump. I'm more than him. I have my own heart. So why should I keep explaining myself to you? No, I know I can achieve what I want to achieve here by the special grace of God. You know, for me, Potsdam here is a place to stay, to live. That's why I never even think of we're moving closer to Berlin. I like it because it's Berlin. You know, I've been here long. I love this here. I have opportunity here. I have what I want. I have gotten what I want to get, and I still want. I'm aspiring to get more by special grace of God. So I love this land. I love Deutschland. I love Potsdam. I love Brandenburg. So I believe I can work together with them. That's why I keep going inside them, because I want to get more things from them. You know.
And I told him, I said, for me, the truth is we are just here to make money. That's what is in our head, just to make money. And there are some prerequisites. That's the truth. There are some prerequisites when you come into a country, you must keep into to develop yourself. And when you don't get those prerequisites, I don't think you can push further.
Imagine a German staying 35 years in Nigeria. What do you think he would have achieved? He would own a company.
Oh, yeah. Lands.
When you compare living together, interacting together like the theme of the project says, for us to live together, we need to integrate into the day-to-day business of the country. Some of us, like my brother who studied politics, he belongs to a political party here. Some of us should join. We don't need to study politics to join a political party. We need to integrate ourselves into it and see, okay, how can we join politics? You know, in America, blacks have broken even, in UK, New Zealand, Australia. My friend here did an election last week in his school, you know, he came second. Yeah, he can try again and he can come first. So if you don't go into the body that brings this integration, it will never come. You know, it will be a wise one to see a black one day in the German parliament, you know, making laws, you know, laws that can protect his people too. If you don't do these things, I don't think you can integrate into the society. We'll keep roving around, and as time goes on, we end up the same way. So I will encourage us. Some of us may be old for it, but we can encourage our children, like Auntie said, and start telling them you can do it, you can join your peer clubs, your whatever club, start learning how to play the politics, the government, the laws of the land, the constitution of the land. Then from there we can also gain more integration. Thank you.
Okay, so but that kind of work
with immigrants was totally new for me. It was a very nice experience I had in that work. And now, firstly, I just work with immigrants mostly from Nigeria. And my first step after starting that work, I went to Nigeria, to a small village, together with Charity, Michael and other people. It was a very nice experience to see the opposites. People live in that county, that county with the most inhabitants in Africa. At that time, maybe 150 million inhabitants in Nigeria. So, and I thought about what happened in Europe. We speak about immigrants. We give them help to immigrants. But sometimes I think our politics here in Europe is a little like the neocolonialism. You know, I know examples. We give to Africa, we give to African people, we give to African and Arabic immigrants so much, but we take a lot from Africa and from other countries. And that is a problem. We can give a so-called Entwicklungshilfe to Nigeria, to other countries, but it's only a small part. But we have to stop the neocolonialism. We have to stop politics of protection, the European countries. Yeah? One example. I don't like chicken schnitzel, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you know why I don't like them? Because we take the chicken schnitzel here in Germany and what we give back to Africa? The bones with remainings of meat. So, and what happened in Africa? African people, they are not so rich, they have not enough money. They don't buy chicken from African farmers. They buy the European bones, chicken bones. So, and so we stop the development in Africa. There's only one example. There are a lot of examples, and now I'm so angry about to know that. But most of our people here live at a very high level. Yeah, they enjoy that because they don't think about what happened in Africa, what happened in South America. I have another example. I told you I'm from the GDR. So today people say, GDR, in the winter time, you haven't had any flowers. The flower shops look very poor. Okay, but we here in that republic, we have flowers the whole year. But why? Because people in South America have to grow that flowers. And that flowers came by plane here. That's pollution. And the people, the South American people get minimal income for that. But you can say we have flowers the whole year, but the GDR, you haven't had any flowers. What is that for the country? So, but you can say about the GDR what you want to say. There were a lot of mistakes, okay, but we haven't had any tendency to neocolonialism. That is what I want to say.
Thank you. Talking about how do we live together, you had the topic we had for this year. Mm-hmm. This year's topic said living together, growing together. So coexistence. What can you tell the German folks? I mean, you are somebody that have tested the black part, the black continent. You've not only been in Nigeria, you've been in South Africa, you stayed there for a long time, and you met the people, and you saw how the system also is. What now can you tell us here in Germany? How can the blacks, how can the foreign community, how can they live together in peace with the Germans, the inhabitants of the land? It's a good question.
Yeah. Okay, I don't see any problem. Because for me it's completely normal to live together with black people, with brown people, or yellow people, I don't know. Yeah? But we have to go together. We don't have to separate us. And what I see in Berlin, especially, some immigrants get separated, live in separated communities. That is not good. It's the first time, but it's maybe not so here in Potsdam. So, and it's not with all immigrants. A lot of Asian immigrants I see are very good integrated. Maybe also the black immigrant. And the other one, the other side is German people are often very reserved, very distant, because there are some prejudice from the past.
Eine Einstellung.
Yeah, okay.
It's already an existed philosophy or opinion
but
that has taken over the community, a kind of.
But that philosophy has tradition in Germany, maybe not in other countries, but we have to fight again.
We have to work towards it.
We as Germans have to do that, and what you have to do is to be open for integration. For integration, you are not a customer here for a short time. You want to stay forever here, and also your children. So you have to think.
I will speak very short only, and that is exactly what I say in the interview last week. That I think we are all, as a parents, especially, I want to go concrete. How we teach our children about this community. So if we come back to the history, the oldest kingdom in Egypt, it's all black. So that is the first civilization what is exists. And if we try to think about it, they are all black, old, especially the Queen Tia, or even Cleopatra, all is black. So if we parent, we are now in a modern situation whereby education is for free. You can go Google it, check what it is happened there, and then we explain it to our generation, this new generation, that our history. Actually, I'm not even black. I'm sorry, but I know that I come from Africa. Okay, and it's not because of this bread. This was not on my plan. I was in my sister restaurant, and they do hair, and then it's just like random do hair. Actually, normally I don't do this hair, but I know that I come from Africa. Because in all of our genetics, we are all from Africa. And what happened in that old history is, after all what happened, the colonial time, they destroy all the kingdom and the king, what is existing, the empire, all existing. They separate them, and then they take all resource, and they conquer. Some of part is belong to France, some of part belong to, I don't want to make an education of history right now, but the point is, if we know our history, where we come from, and what we are a king, we are queen. If we think in that way, that will be like what my brother said today. I can be more than Trump. Yep. But unfortunately, we are all, let me say, the oldest is all trauma. My background is psychology. So, the oldest, our grandparents who grow us up from Africa, they are all trauma. The trauma is what the guy say, that the German king, that the servant, who served them is a black for them is to serve. So this is all the trauma. And this we can stop. First, teach your kids that they are king and queen. Okay? And second, practice what we can do. And I already do to my own daughter. I do it like this. I ask her these two tests, black dolls and the white dolls. My daughter is a mixed kid. So I was so curious after this what happened with George Floyd. I print out two different dolls, white and black, and I asked my daughter, which one is the most beautiful one? She answered, both. Oh, sure. And then, which one, baby, which one is nicer than the other? She answered, both. I have the video. And then, which one is the bad one? None. Oh, so this is a practice, these two little things. We don't need to say interrogation, this and that, this and that. We don't need that. A very simple thing. I can tell you what I have done in Berlin for a program or whatsoever. I have a curriculum for to love their own skin. I'm not even black, but I know what's wrong with this black community. This black community have problem in the root. That is why the guys say when they go to Africa it's totally different. Yes, that's what we must do.
Speak out.
And I'm speaking out. So what I'm trying to say about ourselves, our own problem, we are our own problem. Sometimes if we want to go into an office, like we don't speak German. Because if you want to talk to a German wants somebody who can interact with him or her. Express yourself. Say what you want. But if you can't say that, he won't give you what you want. Yeah, because some of us we go there. You speak English. We know that this person, even though he speaks English, he won't even talk with you. Yeah, and the next thing you will tell, okay, go and bring Dominic. Some of them will start shouting there. So I have seen someone when we get into Auslander before, and they told them, go and bring Dominic. He started shouting, is it because I'm black?
Yeah. I heard this. Because of the language you speak in
and I told her, look, it's not because you are black, because she don't understand English. That is the problem. So the thing is that, what I'm trying to say that we need to integrate, at least learn this language. If there are some people who are not so fast, like if they go to school, even the teacher will speak, they will start sleeping. At least you can buy this small book.
Audio.
Yeah.
Nowadays there's audio.
Yeah. So if you can buy this small book and learn, it will help you. At least anywhere you enter, you can be able to speak. Because Germans always say, Afrikanische Leute Kanano and Erfahrung. When I hear that, I'm like, do you know any Erfahrung? Yeah, like where I used to work, they asked me, because we used to drive this Sprinter, the big one that looked like cattle, like the one looked like DHL car. One came to ask me, how did you get driver's license? How did you even get the experience to drive this car? I said, this car is not even hard. He asked me, by the way, where do you come from? I said, I'm from Africa. Where? I told him. He said, I don't think African people have a farm. And I asked him, where have you traveled to? He said, no, nowhere. He's born in Benin, grew up in Benin. Have you been in Munich?
No.
I tell him, man, do Kanan Uganis, give it. So the thing is that if you attack me, I won't attack you back, but I will try to let you know there are things you don't know that I know more than you. So the thing is that we ourselves need to help ourselves. Integration matters. It matters a lot. Because if you can't express yourself what you want to any German, like some of them used to speak very fast, you have to bring your ear down. Even though if you don't hear them, you ask them, they will explain to you. Some of them are very friendly. Some of them, you will see them, you will think, this one don't like to talk to somebody. But if you come close to the person, you will know that the person don't even have any problem. So we don't have to always say, look at his face, always frowning their face. I don't know what is making them angry. No. Just let us free ourselves within them. If you see the one that does not like black, he will show you. You just move away. So thank you very much.
Well, I think a lot of you had some good points and some that are not so good in my opinion. But never mind. I think the most important is to educate the people that we have here. To educate them about our history, like you said, and to educate them which kind of which kind of chances they have in the future. Because you could have every chance you want, like every other kid, but you have to do 10% more than every other kid if you're living in this country. Since you can't always rely on getting treated the same way. I mean, in a perfect world, and Germany is trying, we would be there already, and we are trying to come there, but there are certain cases and certain special cases where you can always see that there's like a wall for people like us that you can't just climb on your own, and you need help in form of a community, in form of friends, in form of just help in different ways. And not only help from our community, but I mean that's the first point, where you should get help and where we should encourage us as migrants together. But also help from Germans that want to help, or help from, if you're living in the UK, help from people in the UK that want to help and that want to change so that the society can be equal and that you can strive together. And I think it starts very, very early, because when I remember back, because I was born in Potsdam, I was the first child at my gymnasium. There was no black, I was the first black child at my gymnasium. I wasn't the first child. There was no other black child. And to be honest, there was also no other real migrant child. I mean, we live in the East, so there are some kids that have Polish backgrounds, but nobody knows that. And some kids that have Czech background, but also that. Nobody knows that. It only appears if you look directly into their last names, and then if you're smart and know this is not a real German last name, then you can think about it. So you have to, at first you have to look into that environment, and of course every questions about other foreign people were asked to me. Every time we were in school and we're talking about Africa, it is as if I would have known everything about every country in Africa. I don't know something about Tanzania. I really don't. But people look at me as if I'm an expert. And these are little things you have to overcome. You have to get used to it, and you have to think about how you can change the society so that the next person that will have the same place like my brothers that came after me, also went to my school, can have it easier. What you can tell them so that they will have it easier. So that you share your experience with working there or with going to school there. And the thing that in my opinion, like the Asian communities did way before the African communities, is that they started telling their kids they have to go to school. It's not that you can go to school, you have to go to school. And you have to finish a degree. It is very important, because that's why there are studies for that. They are more likely integrated and more likely liked by the society, because they are having good jobs like doctors, engineers, and so on and so on. And that's why they have a better look in general. And like that you can get new opportunities. That's what we don't really have at the moment. And that's what I think we should change as a community first. and then what should be our offer to the society, so that they can then give us also offers how we can get better integrated. And that's the first start. And also, like my uncle said, it's very important to enter the systems that we are living in. It's not only enough to work at, I don't know, at a restaurant. It's better to own a restaurant. It's good to it's
take a risk.
Yeah, and to take a risk to own a restaurant. It's not so easy. Of course, it's also good to work for a politician, but it's also good that a black politician will candidate, and there will be some people like us in the parliament. There is one black person in the parliament since 12 years, Dr. Karamba Diaby. He's a very good man, but it's only one. There were two, and that's also 8 years ago. So that shows that it's a big gap still that we have to close to put us not only in jobs, but also in positions where we can provide more jobs for us, and so that we can all get more integrated and overcome the cliff. Yeah, that's...
The main thing is our mental state. We have to, the only thing we can control is our mind. You know, whatever she does or he does or they do, or the government or whoever, it actually, the way it affects us depends on us. You know, whatever happens, whatever occurs, we have to decide how it affects us.
We can be using it to do African party, because here it's not noise proof. You know, you can't do anything. People are living upstairs. They will be disturbing. And the woman living upstairs wrote a lot of petition against the black community, even the church, the black church that is here. So they made life so miserable for almost everybody. If not that, like me, I said, I cannot go away from this house because I know it from the root, from the foundation of it. They will still continue. They've even told me, yeah, from Okezie, vielleicht in Zukunft werden wir ein bisschen was nehmen as Gabriel. I told the woman when this place was found, our name, ICDI, was written in it. And I was told we can do all our projects as long as we want to do it. So every year, ending of the year, they ask for the appointments when we want to do it. We just give it to them, they'll put it in their plan. You know, so there are too many things. If an African has a place, like in Berlin, the Turkey, yeah, they have different places where you can celebrate without a trouble. We don't have it. The Turkish people have their own school. They have their primary, they have their kindergarten, they have their hospital, they have even their own mercato. They have everything. We do not have anything. But if you see an African man, hey, money they talk.
People here they start translating the Arab in the school.
Thank you.
They start translating Arab.
Where my little cousin is going to school, they teach them with Arab sometimes. When they come, they will say something, the greeting, they will say it in Arabic language before they say it in Dutch. So there are so many things that Africa need to wake up. We need to wake up. Because if we stay like this, we want to work, take our money home, make organ. When you come to party now, you show off that you did here. It can't work like that. It can't work. It can't. So we should talk to one another, try to bring our children together as we can, not only when it comes to, you know, when it comes to going to celebration, partying, drinking, eating, or we go to church. It is good. All these things are good. But we need to think about our future. How do we start building it? And how do we start mending the things that our forefathers did not place well? How do we mend them? That is a question.